So we're here today to gather stories about the Good Samaritan performing selfless acts of kindness. I have my friends that I've known for quite a while. Shaun, I've known my whole life. What story did you bring for us today?
I have a couple little stories, smaller stories that are, being stranded by the side of the road and someone stopped and helped. Probably the biggest one was in Nevada. We were in the desert. It was with a girlfriend at the time, and I think I ran out of gas or blew a tire. I can't. It was so long ago. Don't remember exactly what the problem was, but we were really dead in the water. And the person came by and not only just jumped out and helped us a little bit, but gave us a ride to the service station and stuck around while we got everything taken care of, and then brought us back out to the car. It was a desert, so we were in the middle of nowhere. So it was a pretty long trip both ways, and we were asking him, well, whatever we're ever going to do to repay you. And his only answer was, well, pay it forward, help the next guy down the line. That's all I ask. You have a good day, folks, and took off. That was it. That kind of thing has happened before. That one was probably the biggest because of the length of time. He probably put in a good hour and a half of his own time to help us out that he did not have to do. He just kept on driving. But the one that most meaningful for me personally were, and I'm debating whether I want to say both or just the one. When I joined the Army, when I was 18, I joined the Army. I was going to join with a friend of mine, and we were both going to be tankers. And this was in 1988. The Vietnam War was a long time ago, and the Cold War was kind of warming up a little bit. I mean, cooling off a little bit. Yeah, not warming up a little bit. Yeah, that was exactly the problem. The Cold War was tapering down, and no one thought there was any kind of conflict on the horizon. So driving a tank sounded like a whole lot of fun. Great big machine. I was into anime with the big mecha. I thought it sounded like fun. But I'm a Baha'i, and I don't have to tell you, of course, what a Baha'i is. But for folks who may not know what that is, the important thing for this is Baha'is don't believe in, if you're going to be in the military or anything like that, then you shouldn't ever sign up for a combat position. We're not pacifists per se, but that we should be attempting to avoid as much as possible any sort of a violent role. And I didn't see how this tanker thing could possibly become violent. After all, there's no war. Well, so I signed up, went through the whole route of doing buddy system with my friend, and the recruiter who was helping us get signed up, and had recruited us both. He obviously could see my friend was perfectly cut out to be a tanker, and did everything for him and got him in. And but on me, he kind of wanted to put on a pause. And again, I'm gung ho. I'm ready to go. No clue that I could ever be real combat. No, hint, hint. The Gulf War was only about a year away. Right. Had no idea, right? When we actually signed up, because we actually got in 89. And so 1990, 91 was right there. My friend did go into the war, into the Iraq as a tanker. But he said, the recruiter said, I don't think you really want to do this, which is a really weird thing for a recruiter to do because it's not any skin off of his back.
Right.
He gets paid. You get a bonus as a recruiter for every person you sign up. In these combat arms, you get paid more to get these guys into these specialized positions. And plus, you got to meet your quota. You have to meet your quota. So he took a huge chance because not only did he talk me out of going in as a tanker, I was already signed up as a tanker. So he actually canceled my contract, at which point I could have just walked away. And I guess that's another important part of the story that I didn't even cover is that he tried to recruit my brother first. And my brother came up with an excuse, and he had gotten out of the contract in a similar kind of a way. And then my brother just walked away. He'd actually had changed his mind. And so he used the opportunity to skip. So now I'm that person's kid brother in a similar sort of a situation. And he's getting me out of the contract at great risk to himself for no gain to himself, and talking me into picking a different kind of job and got me in instead as a medic, which was an awesome job, and it was exactly what you should be if you're going to be a Baha'i in the military, which I didn't know. I met other Baha'is while I was there, and they're all medics or in the medical field.
Right. And honestly, also probably the reason why you stayed in the Army for so long.
Yeah, because being a medic was such a perfect fit for my personality. And the sad thing is, I'd hear stories from other recruits, and they tell me about how they're a recruiter. Everybody has a horror story about their terrible recruiter. And I was like, really? I mean, my recruiter was awesome. And they just, it's almost like he was an angel just sent into the office on that day to take care of me. Because so it doesn't seem like very many people have such good stories about the recruiter, how they helped them, but, probably saved my life,
Shaun, why don't we start with the story you have for us? I can't do that with a straight face.
We both looked over.
We're here today trying to gather stories of the Good Samaritan, people performing acts of kindness. Oh my gosh.
I think you said that part
Yeah.
fine.